What's going on? Welcome to episode 37 of the Hyper Manic Noize podcast. This is the all hip-hop edition featuring none other than Tech N9ne, the greatest rapper on planet Earth. I got to fucking chat to him ahead of his Australian tour, which is kicking off this week. I took it in a bit of a different direction than a lot of interviews he'd get. Being a rock and roll guy, I kind of went that angle because he collaborates with a lot of rock and roll artists like Serj Tankian from System of a Down, Corey Taylor, Jonathan Davis from Korn. It's awesome. It was a great chat and he was a really cool dude to talk to. Can't wait to watch his show this week. And after the Tech N9ne interview, you'll hear one of my new songs from my hip-hop project called This Is Why I'm Dark. And following that, I had a regular old podcast with my friend Bluntfield. Bluntfield is one of the best rappers in Australia. If you haven't heard of him, you will soon. He's been nominated for a Whammy Award. He's just a great dude. He's fucking funny and absolutely insane on the mic. He debuts a bit of a sneak peek from one of the tracks from his upcoming EP. We talk a lot of shit, talk a lot about hip-hop, a little bit about MMA. It goes all over the place as the podcast tends to do. And then at the end, we do some freestyling to outro the show. And I eat a bag of dicks, but Bluntfield is fucking fantastic, which makes me look worse. But you'll enjoy his skill and you'll laugh at my terribleness. Could it have been due to the herbal cigarettes we had? Perhaps. Fucking enjoy Tech N9ne, it's awesome, and enjoy the chat with Bluntfield. And if you like the tune that I throw up in the middle, let me know. Thanks, guys.
Podcast initiation complete. Warning. This episode may cause brain damage. Hyper Manic Noize.
Hey, man, how you going?
Kicking it like a donkey.
Good shit, good to hear. So you're about to head back down to Australia in support of your latest record, Planet. The hype around this tour has been fucking massive. And obviously the flight from the US to Australia sucks and the weed here is terrible. So what is it that keeps you coming back down under?
The love from the people, man. You know what I'm saying? And plus, when I get on that plane, man, I watch like all the Godfathers, you know what I'm sizzling, and it's really entertaining, man. I go to sleep and I wake up and I'm there. You know what I mean? It's nothing. We've done it for so many years. We're used to it now. You know what I'm sizzling? But the love from the people, man, I would fly 20 hours to get there if I had to.
Sick, man. Your latest album, Planet, got to number 14 on the mainstream Billboard charts, which is unheard of for an independent artist. How does it feel to finally be able to perform all of these songs for your fans down here?
So wonderful, man, because this is the first album that I had out for a month before I toured. So I was able to do new music first. And usually I wouldn't do that. I would do the music that everybody knew first, usually like Einstein and Riot Maker and things like that, you know what I mean? But this time I got to come out to fresh out and comfortable and no reason, and it was still rocking. It was a turning point. Wonderful.
That's awesome, man. Back in the 90s, you gained some ground as part of the 57th Street Rogue Dog Villains, and then following that, your solo career started to gain some momentum. But it was really after you began Strange Music that your career took off like fucking crazy.
Yeah.
How important has Strange Music been with respect to your maintaining your creative vision and having the ability to do what you want, how you want?
Strange Music, it did everything that I wanted it to do. As my label, as being part owner of that label, the fact that everything has worked like we wanted it to, you know, as far as the music getting to the people, as far as how we get the music to the people and what time and everything, from the content, everything, man, is on me and my partner Travis, you know what I mean? And Strange Music, it saved my life because before that, everything else was failing. But this, Strange Music, has always been me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's inside of me, you know what I mean? And I shared that with the world. And because the world responded, I was able to sign more artists and share that with them as well, man. Strange Music did everything for Tech N9ne, and it's still doing it.
I became really obsessed with your song Straight Out the Gate featuring Serj from System of a Down.
Yeah.
And listening to that song, I couldn't help but think that if you were tied into a normal record label situation, you'd have this bunch of dickheads in suits deciding whether the collaboration fits with what they deem as marketable for the album, blah, blah, blah. But being the head of your own label, you can just trust your instincts and say, hey, I'm going to get the guy from System of a Down to rock the fuck out of this chorus. and the results speak for themselves.
Exactly. Yes, man. I mean, on a major label, they probably wouldn't have understood that song or the collaboration, but we don't give two fucks. You know what I mean? We love music no matter what genre it is or what genre they put it in. If we love it, we're going to collab. You know what I mean? I'd like to collab with Billy Joel. I'd like to collab with Elton John. You know what I mean? I love musicians. You know what I'm sizzling? So it's like Serge. He's such an elite lyricist. You know what I mean? And musician. And he came and did the video with me and everything. We sat down and had lunch before the video and everything. He's such a zen individual, man. Like, we got to do whatever the hell we wanted because we're strange music. So they couldn't stop me from doing a song with Serge from System of a Down. Nobody could stop me from doing a song with Corey Taylor of Slipknot. They couldn't stop me from doing a song with the Deftones. They couldn't stop me from doing Mama Said Knock You Out with Five Finger Death Punch. They cannot stop me doing a song with Jonathan Davis on the Storm called Starting to Turn. It's just beautiful music, man, and we're going to keep on moving. They're not going to be able to stop me from doing a song with 21 Pilots. They're not going to be able to stop me to doing a song when I finally get to do it with Trent Reznor. You know what I mean? It's just beautiful music, beautiful artist, you know?
Yeah, 100%. There's an American band called Machine Head, and the vocalist said years ago, it's a quote that I've never forgotten. He said, music should just be one genre called Is It Good?
Yes.
And looking at your body of work, I feel like that's you.
That's me, man. Music should be one genre called Is It Good? Yes, that's what matters. But, you know, there's another genre these days that not very good.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's another genre out there called Not a Rap Idea. Not a Rhythm Idea is another one.
One of your records, you had Boyz II Men and Jonathan Davis from Korn on the same album. You know, it's awesome.
That's beautiful to have Boyz II Men and Jonathan Davis on the same album. That's beautiful, man. I think when I did it with Corey Taylor, I think I had Lil Wayne on the same record, you know what I'm saying, on the same, you know, album. You know what I mean?
Well, strange music indeed. Yeah, it's great, man.
Yes. Yeah, man, no boundaries over here, man, no boundaries. That's why we're able to do Rockfest in Kansas City. That's why we're able to do Heavy in Montreal. That's why we're able to do Aftershock in Sacramento. That's why we're able to do, what else we do? We did Knotfest twice. You know what I mean? There's a reason for that, you know. Is it good? That's why.
Yeah. Well, it's fucking good, all right.
Yeah.
With your 2013 Therapy EP, obviously the vision there was to create sort of a rock metal edged release, something a bit different from what you've done before. And you've obviously done music that is rock influenced over the years as well.
Yeah.
When you're approaching an album such as the Planet record, do you have a defined vision as such, or is it more of just an organic process where you dive into it and just see where it takes you?
I see where it takes me, man. I knew I wanted to go on another planet, to go to another planet and create my own planet, going into it, and I knew I wanted massive beats. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Brightfall was the first one I recorded, and it was the most massive, you know what I mean? Just a big production, but I let it take its own form, you know?
Yeah.
And after the first 5 songs, you pretty much know where you're going to go, you know? So for this upcoming project, I just started writing day before yesterday, like a couple days ago, and I wrote one called Chuki Fever, and I put it up on my Instagram, the first verse, you know what I'm saying, to let people know that I'm about to chop people's heads off, you know what I mean, still.
Yeah.
And I don't know where it's going to take me yet, you know what I'm saying. I'm writing another one today called HOB, and I'm just writing my life still, man, and we'll see what form it turns to when it gets to the number where it's supposed to be. I don't know.
I'm a big fan of your Instagram because you're so often at concerts that I never expect you to be at, and I love it.
Yeah, totally. I love music.
Yeah.
I love music, man. You know what I'm saying? You probably just saw me at the Drake concert. I don't know if I posted the Drake concert, but I was there. Where else did I go? You know, I went to Steely Dan, I think last year. Where else did I go? I went to Lady Gaga last year, man. I go to a lot of shows. I went to Daniel Caesar. I flew to Arizona just to see him for one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll go the extra mile for music, man.
Something I really do like about Strange Music as well is the Collabos series of albums where you work with all of your label mates and all collaborate on different tunes, and you've got 8 albums now of this. Do you approach that differently to one of your albums? Because it's just an insane amount of work you've got coming out.
Yeah, totally, man, because when it's time to do the collabos with my artists, it's less writing I have to do. My records, I got to be on all the verses, you know what I mean? But for my artists, I get to write a verse and send it out, or they write something and send it to me, you know what I mean? Like, it's easier, you know what I'm saying, to gel when we're doing the collabos, because I'm like, ooh, this is the beat I want. I hear Seth's Crew on this one, so I'll record my verse and send it to Seth's Crew, and boom, we got it, you know? So my albums, though, ooh, they have to be humongous. They have to be bigger than the last one. So that's a hard job to have, to keep on beating Tech N9ne at his job, you know what I'm saying? I have to plan it. I have to make this music better than Planet? Jesus. That's the hardest thing ever. But I just go, you know what I mean, and do my best at everything I do and never slack. And it comes out like, whoa, Tech, you did it. I'm like, oh, did I? Damn, I didn't know. I did it. Until the people said I did it.
That's a good problem to have if you've got an album that's hard to top.
Yeah. Yeah, man. A lot of people said I couldn't top Ever Ready, but I think I did it time and time again. With special effects, with all 6s and 7s, with Planet, man, woo, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I know I topped the storm, you know what I'm saying? That's what I think, so I'm just going to keep on going up, man.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
Have you been exposed to many acts within the Australian hip-hop scene at all?
No, I never get to talk to anybody for real, you know. My security usually has me really locked up, you know what I mean, safety purposes, but the artists rarely come to me and give me anything, you know?
I rarely ever do this, but there is one guy, an Australian hip-hop act called Complete, who is fucking phenomenal. And if ever there was an Australian that fits Strange Music, Jesus Christ, he's the guy. Unbelievable.
That's funny because Tech N9ne means the complete technique of rhyme. That's the definition of Tech N9ne, because 9 is the number of completion. And I'm technique number 9. You know, the complete technique of rhyme. So if there's an MC named Complete, I got to hear that motherfucker.
Well, I'll try and sneak a copy of his album to you past security when you get to Perth anyway.
Cool, man. You know, I usually have meet and greets, so, you know, that's the best way to get it to me.
Awesome, man. Hey, I haven't got much time with you left, but I just wanted to say I've had so many people on this show from the heavy metal world and the rock world, from Slipknot to all those sort of bands, and you're the first hip-hop artist I've had on the show, and if I could have picked any hip-hop artist in the world, it would have been you. I'm so thankful to be able to chat to you today, man. I remember the first time I heard you, I was high as fuck, and somebody put Speedom on, and I nearly had an aneurysm. It was that fucking good.
Thank you, man. I think the same thing. I will be performing Speedom when I get out there, too.
Oh, thank fuck. That's going to be fantastic. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you when you get to Perth.
Thank you, man. Let's go.
Cheers, man. Take care.
Peace.
Hello, hello. Can anybody speak my language? Oh, no. They're oblivious to my serious anguish in their eyes. This is just a pipe dream, and I'm never gonna make it. It's alright. Gonna prove you motherfuckers wrong. Bring it on, I can take it. Bring it on, I can take it. If you Google success, you won't find my name yet, but search manically depressed and up pops my dumb face. I make constant errors, living in constant terror. Feel like I never get better, I'm getting stranger than ever. I can't sleep, I can't eat, I try to count sheep, but the little motherfuckers tell me,
man, you more fucked than you've ever been. Do we need to check it back into the loony bin?
Well, to be honest, man, a lot of this is touch and go. Today I'm safe, but tomorrow I don't fucking know. It's got me feeling and reeling like I'm on death row, waiting to walk down the hall to the road. Demons repeatedly eating me, cheating me, bleeding me, feeding me weed and amphetamines, keen on beating me. Angel on the rise. feeding on my insanity. Eternal enemy that wants to see the end of me. I fucking hate crowds, hate being alone. I hate the man on the street and I hate the man on the throne too. Hello, hello. Can anybody speak my language? Oh no, oh no. They're oblivious to my serious anguish. In their eyes, always fall apart at the seams. It's alright. Even if it kills me, I'm gonna unchain my dream. I'm a stand-up comedian, dance, clown, dance. Make us laugh for all your misfortune and eggs. Entertain your prick, we pay $10. I'm dead inside and these cunts give zero fucks. It's not as though I think that they're gonna get it. I choose to pursue this fucking life that I'm living. I'm bipolar as shit, I'm either Jekyll or Hyde. One side of me wants to live and the other side wants to die right now. I make jokes about my personal darkness, introspectively reckon me so brutal and heartless. He committed a murder and turned me into a rat. I had to go to the pigs, my phone was tapped, I was trapped. I only turned him in to save his life, and so the world would know the reason she died. Unfortunate distortions of epic proportions made a psychotic contortion into an abortion. She begged and she pleaded because she needed to die. In the end, my brother heeded and completed her life. With this one death, 2 lives went down. He repented and he meant it and he's doing his time right now. I'm outside but I'll never forget, I'm the one that fucking put him in there. Hello, hello. Can anybody speak my language? Oh no, oh no.
All right, welcome to the show, Bluntfield.
What's up, man?
This is the all hip hop episode, ready to rock.
Oh, yeah.
So, this episode, anyone listening, has already been opened up by the interview with Tech N9ne.
Shout outs to Tech, Strange Music.
Yeah. So, what did you think about what he had to say? Like, I kind of wanted to talk to you. You're a guy, for anyone that doesn't know, Bluntfield is a Whammy West Australian Music Awards industry winner.
Nominated.
Nominated. You should have won it. Go fuck.
Thanks, man.
Whoever won can go fuck themselves. And you put on shows here, in the hip hop scene, Mad Fap Entertainment. So Tech being an independent artist that's created a career that way, and you being in the scene, I thought you're the perfect guy to have on this show with the interview with him.
Yeah, cheers, man. Like, Tech is honestly one of my biggest influences. Just in terms of like actual favorite rappers, he's got to be top 3. And with Strange Music, he's the kind of champion of the independent grind. You don't really need you don't have to, sign a major label, anything like that. You can kind of put in the hard yards yourself. Like him and Travis, just what they built is, it's super inspirational.
Yeah, and I just love the no boundaries attitude.
Yeah.
Like he was saying in the interview, Boys to Men and Jonathan Davis from Korn on the same album.
Yep.
And Corey Taylor from Slipknot. And then, he's talking about wanting to do songs with Trent Reznor, which would fucking be,
it'll happen eventually. And he mentioned like Elton John as well. And it's like that'll probably happen too. Like Tech is, honestly, just in terms of his like rapping style, in terms of double time, storytelling, party tracks, emotional tracks, everything, like melodies, he's just all around like an actual genius. Like that gets thrown around a lot, but it's like Tech, especially when it comes to hip hop, he's like a genius, so it's
Well, in the metal world, you've got all these technical bands like technical death metal and all this sort of shit where it's just shredding.
Yeah.
And when it comes to rap, Tech does have the ability to shred, but he also knows what a song needs.
Yeah.
So he could go like Speedom, for instance. He could do that every song if he wanted to.
Exactly.
But he knows that not every song needs that.
Yeah, he could get pigeonholed in as, oh man, Tech is the fastest rapper. Like he could do that. But he's like, he was inspired, like he was a choir boy or just in the choir, that kind of stuff. Like melodies and everything. Like he's so well-rounded. It's like an MMA fighter who's good in every single, like elite in every grappling, striking, everything.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you get involved into hip-hop?
I mean, it's hard. Like everyone's like, this album changed my life. And it's like, I don't really have like a set album or a set artist or anything. Like I listened to hip hop in high school and that might've been like, like Cypress Hill, ICP, Twisted, Sage Francis. Like I had a good friend, John, who just kind of introduced me to a lot of underground hip hop like Necro, Ill Bill when I was in high school. And it was cool, but I never really thought like I loved hip hop and I never really thought I'd actually be a rapper, but just being at parties and freestyling drunk, like freestyling is like lyrical sparring, really. Like you're just talking shit, and it's like over time doing that and being like, oh, okay, you just kind of need rhythm and punchlines. And then it grew from there. And I was always more into like film and writing stories and stuff. So the natural progression, like hip hop, I think for MCs, like lyricism and stuff, that's like a focal point. So it doesn't get lost in the shuffle. Like really an MC can kind of be to the forefront if they're really like lyrical. And because I always liked writing and sketches, short stories, that kind of stuff. I don't know, I just kind of gravitated towards hip hop, and it was a good kind of self-expression that I just kind of, picked up.
When did you release your first track?
First track was, I think, March 2014, and it was called The Puppet Show, and we actually sampled the Muppets theme. Kellogg's my producer. It was just about Australian politics, which is pretty funny at the moment. It was just being like, because Tony Abbott, I think, had just come into office, and I was like, oh man, we've got our like George Bush, Australia's George Bush, just an actual idiot running the country, and he's just like, I need to write a song, and that was the actual first track I put out. Then I did my first set maybe about a month or so later. So yeah, it's been about 4 years.
Like, if you listen to it now, how do you feel about it?
Ooh, well, I think I put it on private actually, so it's no longer available. But it's like, man, that's the thing. Like, especially, I guess it's with any music or even like, comedy, anything like that. Like, when you first start off, you're raw and you've pretty much got to accept that you're going to suck. And then from that, you kind of learn. Again, I always like bring martial arts into this. It's like, you're going to get your ass kicked when you start off, but it's a black belt is just a white belt who never quits, So it's the same thing. Like, I haven't listened to that track in honestly probably like 3 years, but yeah.
I've got to show you sometime. I wish I had it with me. The video clip, these people in central Queensland wanted to do a video for our band. It is the worst pile of dog shit you've ever seen in your fucking life.
Yeah.
And I want to do a clip for the podcast and have a video component where we just commentate this video clip because they filmed it in a junkyard. And it looked really cool.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not bad location to shoot
No, it was sick. We had this massive tower of shit behind us. But there's this guy, like an extra that they had as the main character in the song. And he's just running around in the... like someone's chasing him, like in this junkyard.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the song.
Yeah.
It's all about like not giving up on yourself and just pushing through. But this guy... a wannabe actor kind of cunt.
Yeah.
Just running around with no explanation. And they'd use this shot and I was about 18 or 19 and I looked like an angry lesbian. And, doing the live, basically playing live, quote unquote, and using that footage. But they would have one shot of me side on with my double chin and this angry lesbian shot for like 15 straight seconds of the one shot.
Yeah.
And then... the random shit, like, I can't even articulate how bad it is. It's so embarrassing.
Especially like nowadays, like people just everyone almost has ADD because of the internet and technology and everything like that. Like the 15-second long shots, I think, are kind of a thing of the past. Like people, like why not just mix it up a bit,
If it was a good shot.
Like an artistic shot for sure.
Even if none of it made sense, nothing.
Yeah.
And we wasted all that time. And,
I remember being like maybe 11 or 12 and I'd watch music videos of tracks that I loved and the video had absolutely nothing to do with the content, with the topic. And it used to really piss me off. I'm like, this is like some director who's just jerking themselves off. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, this has nothing to do with the song. Like that, the song should paint the picture of the video, but people are like, no, that's exactly why we go opposite. It's like that. Yeah. It used to do my head in as like, again, like 11, 12 years old. So I try not to do that nowadays.
It's just, you're right. It's just an exercise in masturbation where they just need to say, well, I took it on this direction because I think it does this. I think
yes, the juxtaposition of it being the opposite of what is.
No. Yeah.
It's fucking weird. Like, do that with your own shit. Like, not when you're working with some other band or artist,
Yeah. It annoys me in the same way as advertising, like where there's a lady feeding ducks and it's for insurance.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck
Nothing
is this
to do with it. Fuck you for trying to paint a good picture and then somehow connect that to insurance or banking or something, you fucks.
There's this store in central and northern Queensland now, the guy's back, called Silly Sollies, which is like a red dot. And their ads are my favourite form of ads. It's just this cunt ranting. And it'd be like, socks $5, garden hoses $3, guitars $12, speakers $7, but only at Silly Sollies. So in the 30 seconds, you know what the fuck
exactly.
they've got and
to
what
the
it
point.
costs. And it's so shit, but it's so good.
Yeah.
I just wish they all did that.
Yeah, it's up front. That's obviously a no bullshit approach.
Yeah.
Give them what you want. Here's the fucking deal. We don't need to like glitter it up with sizzle. This is the steak. Fucking you want to come.
Glitter it up with sizzle. Oh shit. So what you're just about to release a new
new EP called The Meat Clown. It's going to drop in November, but yeah, basically The Meat Clown means I'm only in this life for humor and sex. It's honestly based off a meme of like polony shaped meat, and it was just like, when she's only in you for humor and sex, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much me at this point, like a jester who's down to bang. So that's the EP. And that's just pretty much, the EP is just tiding over till the next full-length album. I'm working out the Breakout with Rob Shaker, and that'll come out probably in autumn 2019. But because it's going to take a while, I was working on another project to go ADD, and I can never really focus on one thing. So Meat Clown is, going to drop in November.
Do you actually have ADD?
Yeah, I haven't been diagnosed, but just knowing the symptoms and going back to school, I could never really pay attention, and I just kind of fall asleep in class, and even just holding conversations. It just, I don't know. I'm kind of glad my parents didn't put me on Dexies as like a fucking 15-year-old, but I can just, self-diagnose, I guess.
Well, I just got diagnosed.
Yeah, adults can get diagnosed and just like, man, you've had all the symptoms for years, but no one's ever actually said this guy has ADD.
Well, apparently because I have bipolar, the laws here are weird around
multiple diagnosis, or
no, it's because of the mania. They're worried it'll push people into mania. Whereas I may or may not have had Dexies without a prescription before, and I sleep better.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
It's like the few times that I've ever had gear.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on the couch just like we are now, and everyone else has had a quarter. Like one night I had like 4 pipes of gear, never had it before. Had a pill, I'd only ever had that a couple of times, and Dexies, and I was just sitting on the couch chilling, and other people had one little puff of gear, and they're like, "Are you bad? What's wrong? Are you all right?" Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm fine, man.
Yeah,
that's
legit. When you're just kind of calm and collected, that's a pretty big sign.
Yeah, it doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
And I just want to go home and watch documentaries and do my tax and all this sort of shit, whereas everyone else is wanting to rage and dance.
Yeah.
And I was like, dancing is such a waste of energy. We could be talking about history and learning about Göbekli Tepe or,
one of the rare cooked cunts who will ever, take it in that direction.
Yeah. Well, have you done much touring over East?
I did my first interstate show for the Nimbin Mardi Gras, which is Australia's biggest cannabis festival. That was on May 6th.
How was that?
A couple months. It was awesome, man. But in true kind of stoner fashion, I did a show at Margaret River the night before. I left my USB with all my instrumentals in the decks, which was locked in at the Settlers Tavern in Margaret River. I'm going to the airport at like 2, 3 a.m. I'm fucked up because it's like, we're partying afterwards. We're driving to the airport. I'm like, shit, I don't have my USB. We turn back around. I wake up the DJ bass cadet. I'm like, man, have you got my USB? He's like, dude, it's in the fucking DJ tables. The DJ tables are in there. I was like, fuck, it's all right. Just send it to me when I get there. I had a friend, Roland, who's from Queensland. He was going to come down to Mardi Gras. He's got all my beats. He's going to DJ for me. I'm like, yep, no worries, sweet. Turns out he wasn't responding to any of my messages. He was in hospital a couple of days before, and he wasn't responding to my text. So I'm like, this is kind of weird, but little did I know he was actually in hospital with some, I forget the illness, but he did Tough Mudder. He got some illness from the mud when he was fucking exercising. He's in hospital. His girlfriend hits me up maybe 2 hours before my set. Is like, dude, he's in hospital. I was like, fuck, I've got no DJ. I've got no beats. I'm fucking delirious. So it was cool, but set-wise, I had to do like half of my songs. Like, I was just fucking going through my emails, finding my beats, but I couldn't do most of my most of the stoner tracks. So I was just like, fuck, I kind of fucked up this opportunity a bit. It's still good. Converted a few fans, and we honestly had the shittest weed we've ever had in Nimbin. Like afterwards, you got handed like the worst Mexican brick weed. I was like, dude, like Ash and I would talk when we were like 19, like just be like, man, we got to go over to Nimbin Mardi Gras. This is the fucking mecca of Australian weed, and we got the worst weed we've had since we were like that age. But yeah, then eventually I met like an interviewer, like we sat down, Nimbin Hill Magazine's chick. She gave us some dank, and I was like, fuck yeah. Like it was awesome. It was just, man, I had no beats. The lesson is prepare your shit. I should have just had 2 USBs. If I had 2 USBs, I could have rocked it. Instead, I just fucking, it was like a stoner. It was a stoner lesson. I'm coming back next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the next Interstate show is actually October 5th in Melbourne, and that's previewing the Meat Clown because we've got 2 features, Mr. Ruckman and Fresh Violet. 2 fucking killer MCs. Like, I'm a fan of both of them, so to work with them was fucking cool. And yeah, that's going to happen in 2 months.
I was just listening to that new track, the Natural Born Killers
Oh,
today.
dude, dope, man. Yeah.
The clip's wicked.
Yeah, they're totally on the same wavelength. Like, Ruckman's one of my favorite underground MCs in Australia. Fresh Violet's just cool as fuck. Yeah, we got really drunk when she came here. She's just like a cool chick. She can fucking do head kicks and stuff. So, shout outs to Fresh Violet.
Yeah, cool. That's killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in contact with Nimbin about doing stand up there.
Sick.
And it was just pretty obvious that it wasn't going to be worth it for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the I don't imagine my material, like even they were sort of saying, oh, you know, your material might be a bit harsh for.
Yeah, it is kind of like more kind of like hippie kind of laid back, older crowd as well, and like a mixed bag. So I'm sure your stuff might have offended them.
I definitely would have.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was like, man, this is going to be my people. Like, we're fucking sweet. Like, Ash dresses up as the Nature Boy Stick Flare. He wears a wig and shit. But because I was on just before Rates, which is Curse's brother, more kind of staunch hip-hop, there was a lot of just kind of aggro dudes at the front. And Ash came out in his wig and he's fucking dancing like Ric Flair. And they were not feeling it. I was just like, shit, I thought it was just going to be hippie stoners. But I guess going on before Rates, it was more kind of a staunch crowd. So I should have just bought bars, but I didn't have my fucking beats. It was a painful lesson, man. A painful lesson.
Fuck. That's so funny that you got the worst weed there.
Yeah, dude. We looked at each other. We're like, there's fucking like seeds in it. And it's just like, we're like, holy shit, man. We traveled across the country for this. Like, fuck. We could have gone to Armadale and got some dank, but
yeah,
it's all good.
Well, also, doing stand-up in that environment's terrible anyway.
Oh, yeah, because they're high. Like, I imagine they're probably not going to be as engaged. Like, you really want probably like a drinking crowd, I'd say, for comedy.
Oh, but it's more so like an outdoor tent sort of thing. Isn't good for
comedy.
There's
a few. Yeah. There's an indoor bit. Like, they've got a pub where bands and I think some comedy was. And there was a stadium. We were in like a back shed. There was probably 4 or 5 different venues, all pretty small.
Okay.
Still cool, though, man. Like, definitely, like, you should come down.
Yeah, I do want to do it sometime.
Yeah.
I'm trying to behave myself.
Yeah.
Trying.
Yeah, we're all bloody trying, mate. Our Northwest exceeding.
You know, I miss drinking a bit, eh? I just can't do it anymore. It's like I'm fucking allergic to it now.
It's poison. It's literally diluted poison.
I know. And my body tells me that when I drink it. Like half a beer. And I go, I feel like I've had fucking rat sack.
Yeah. Well, I know in Russia, they've designed like alcohol-based pills. So it's literally alcohol in pill form, and I'm like, that's like a deadly combination, but I'd much rather just pop a pill and get the intoxicated tipsy effect than slug like fucking 10 drinks.
Yeah. Well, I used to, years ago, I used to drink and I'd have shots and then just drink water.
Yeah.
As a chaser.
Which is fine. Yeah. Look, it's not going to taste good, but that's honestly the best for like hydration and keeping yourself like delaying the hangover and stuff, for sure.
Well, I was always one of those dudes that would throw up throughout the night.
Yeah, same with Ash.
Progressively. Like, you know, I'd be 3 or 4. Oh, no, it'd probably like 8 or 9 drinks in. I'd probably throw up the first time and I'd just keep drinking. But it was the fucking sugar.
Yeah, totally.
It's just like, especially when I drank rum.
Yeah.
And I'd just be going, just all the phlegm.
For sure.
And then I went through this stage where I was really health conscious. And at the times I did drink, it was just with water.
Yeah.
And I'd get fucked up, but never felt like
ill.
That.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, so yeah, normally for me, like whiskey on the rocks is honestly the way to go. Like, you can't, it's a double benefit. You can't throw back a whiskey when it's just raw, and it's like, it hydrates you at the same time. So a lot of people, let's say people who want to lose like fucking fat, they want to watch their health. Like, when you're slamming like 10 bourbon and cokes, that's got to be at least 100 grams of sugar on top of what you're going to eat because you're drunk like a kebab or Macca's or whatever. Like, that's what fucks people up. They could eat healthy all week. You get drunk on that, you've totally fucked your metabolism.
Yeah. How'd you get into doing PT, like personal training and shit?
Yeah, pretty random. And people are like, what the fuck? You're still a PT? I'm like, yep. Represent, but it's odd, man, but it kind of keeps me in check. Like, if not, I'd probably go off the rails, man. Like, that's what I was doing before. Like, I just wasn't healthy. Like, I'm always like a skinny dude, but I was like way skinny. Like, I just was eating like shit, wasn't really training, and it was just doing martial arts that kind of opened me to that whole realm and just kind of giving me discipline. It gave me like confidence and focus. And once I started doing martial arts, that kind of set the wheel in motion for music. And then as I was doing that, I knew with music, I couldn't do a job that I fucking hated. Like, I've done horrible jobs like kitchen hand, laborer, fucking working in an airport, night shift, all these just shitty, no skill, usually reserved for like immigrants, drug addicts, and like single moms and stuff, you know? And I'm like looking around, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like I should be probably reaching my potential or something. And then personal training, just kind of doing martial arts and then getting the motivation from that, and then just helping my friends with their nutrition and their exercise. I was like, man, I should probably just pursue this as a career. And then yeah, just doing that. That's the perfect side hustle because it's not a 9-to-5 grind. I set my own hours and I can work on music in between. So it fits my lifestyle, aside from the fact there's early starts, which fucking, I've never been a morning person and it still kills me. So you see some pasty dude with dreadlocks come in at like 5:30 in the morning. He looks ill. I'm like, yep, health and fitness guys, let's get ready. You got burpees. Like usually I'll just compensate. I'll make them work harder. So I'll like, that was a killer session. I'm like, yeah, that's because I'm hungover, but I don't tell them that obviously.
What martial arts were you into?
I think I started with BJJ, which was like, because Rogan was always hamming on about it, and there was no like sparring where you're taking shots to the face or anything like that. So I was always aware of like, you know, post-concussion syndrome and people being punch drunk and stuff. So jiu-jitsu was what I first did, and then always just being a big fan of MMA. Then I got into Muay Thai and boxing. So at the moment, I'm mainly just doing boxing and Muay Thai, but once I started getting more into rapping, after hard sparring sessions, I'd come home, my face would feel flush, my head would be ringing. I'd be like, man, this isn't good for my brain. Like if I'm supposed to articulate with like lyrics, freestyling, like I know getting punched in the face is going to negatively like affect my performance. So I pulled way back on sparring, and yeah, now going forward, probably this summer, I'm going to go back into BJJ, I think.
Yeah, cool. I did jiu-jitsu for forever. Like I started when I was in grade 4.
That's awesome, man. I wish I did.
But it was Japanese jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, yep.
So it's not without its flaws. And actually, quite frankly, the flaws are many.
Because it's traditional, just in terms of...
Well, it was very similar to Ronda Rousey's style. So,
judo?
Yeah, so very judo-centric.
Judoka-based, yeah.
Yeah, judo's based on that anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But my throws and everything were always great.
Yeah.
I knew all of the submissions, but the transitions between them, which is everything, was terrible.
Yeah.
The guy that, when I did my black belt, there was another, as a kid, there was a guy that did his senior black belt the same day, and he fought Matt Hughes in rings in 2000 in Brisbane.
Shit.
Just prior to Matt going to the UFC for his run.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think the fight lasted about 9 minutes. It was before there was rounds.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Maynard Markham, he was a police officer. He was sick. And the only fight footage I could find of him online is him getting brutally knocked out. And he did pretty fucking well, man. To last, 8 or 9 minutes with Matt Hughes at that stage of Hughes' career.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, that's the only thing you can find.
Yeah.
And I found other footage of my brand of jiu-jitsu, and I don't even use the name anymore because it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's just been turned into... It's not even a Mick Dojo. It's like a fucking servo. Like a Mick Dojo would be, at least they've put in the money to have the fucking franchise. Yeah, it's like a regional servo where there's fucking...
It's even sloppier.
It's dog shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, I submitted some of the videos of it to those fake martial arts pages and shit.
I love that shit, by the way. Like the magic ones.
Chi Masters.
It's so funny, man.
You don't believe it? What's wrong with you?
Yeah. Oh, man. It won't work on this lane. Like, yeah, MMA's fine, but what when you go against a real master who will fucking turn your energy and make you flip? Like, yeah, it's crazy, man. Super entertaining, though.
Well, the pressure point thing, that works. To a degree.
It's legit, but no one's going to stand still while you wait to find that pressure point. They're like, if he grabs your wrist, then you do this. Well, okay, what if he fucking kicks? Like, you can't anticipate. No. It's not logic, It's just it's fantasy.
But that's why targeted strikes work. They strike the areas that are going to yield the most damage.
Yeah.
Why do they do that? Well, because a lot of the time, when you look at the meridian lines and all that bullshit, that's where they're hitting.
Yeah.
They're hitting the points that fucking work.
Exactly.
It's just that if you're in there with... Name the dude. It doesn't matter who. If you fucking push on John Jones in a pressure point, it's not going to do anything. Like, he's fought rounds with a broken toe.
Exactly.
And then these are the same cunts that will have a broken arm and they tell the ref, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
The pressure point's not going to work.
No, exactly.
And especially when you see in red, like in a street sort of situation,
you're pinging off adrenaline.
Yeah, someone's like tried to steal my missus's bag. A pressure point's not going to do anything.
No.
If I'm in that zone.
Exactly.
It's later on where you go, oh fuck, he got me in that spot.
Yeah.
But I knew a guy who I love him to death, Tommy. He's just passed away. And he met Bruce Lee back in, just before Bruce Lee died at the European Judo Championships. Because Tommy was, when he died he must have been about 92 or something.
Fuck.
But he used to talk to me about teaching me the death touch and stuff when I was 5th degree. And I always thought that was so rad growing up.
Yeah.
But then, and he was a 5th degree black belt in Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, Taekwondo, Fudoshin, and Sukukai. So 5th degree in 5
An OG
styles.
mixed martial artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was talking about the death touch. It's like that now, having grown up, I'm like, how much, that's clearly bullshit.
Yeah. So
how much of the rest of it was bullshit?
Yeah. It jades you a bit for sure.
But at the same time, this guy was training to be a doctor in Ireland, and his dad couldn't afford the tuition, so he just went and became a bricklayer, and then basically taught himself how to be a physio and a chiropractor. And to this day, I've seen so many physical therapists, physios, specialists, sports trainers and all that for my fucked back. He was onto it years before anyone else knew what the issue was, and everyone he's ever done anything with has found it more helpful than any professional.
Shit.
And just teaching himself.
Yeah.
Like, he knew that my hips and my legs were out of alignment when I was about 12. And then it wasn't until I was in my mid-20s that a specialist mentioned that for the first time.
Shit.
So it's like, but he knew it.
Yeah.
So he's obviously, I don't know if he was just, because he was the kind of guy to fuck with you.
Yeah.
Like, he had this, he was driving his car and cut off a trucker once. And they were beeping at him and swearing at him and carrying on. And then they sort of cut him off so that he had to pull over. And he was, I think, 67 or something at this stage. And these two big tatted up truckers get out. And they're like, what the fuck's wrong with you? We're going to beat the shit out of you. And he put his hand behind his back. He's like, look, there's no problem. It's all right. It's all right. Can't do an Irish accent. There's no problem. What's behind your back? Fuck you. Take your hand from behind your back. We're going to beat the fuck out of you. He's like, there's no problem. And then take your hand from behind your back. So he did that, put his hand up in the air. One of them looked up, kicked him in the stomach, and hit him behind the neck, knocked him down. And, right, you're next to the other guy. And the other guy's like, oh, there's no problem.
Man.
So just that sort of shit.
Bully 101.
And then he said another time, he was sort of giving me some life lessons, and he said, never get involved in a domestic dispute. I said, why is that? He said, well, once there was a guy beating the shit out of his missus. So I went and beat the shit out of him. And then while I was fucking him up, I could feel something smacking me in the back of the head. And I realized it was the missus hitting me with her high heel shoe.
Jesus.
In the back of the head. It's like, I'm trying to save you, bitch.
Yeah, that's
what the
fucked.
fuck are you doing?
That's fucked.
But that, on a sad note, that speaks to the abused mentality of she was too scared to.
Almost Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
Yeah.
It's weird. Let's pause this for a sec. Just had a little break there, but getting back to nature.
420.
At 420 at 8:06.
Yeah. There's 420 somewhere, man.
So, all right, we're talking hip hop. And as it tends to do, it's been a bit of an ADD discussion where we've gone all over the place. Have you heard of vegan rap?
Vegan rap.
Vegan rap.
As in like vegan rappers?
I guess, I don't know. I'm reticent to call them rappers, but vegans who rap about their cause.
You know what? Honestly, it's not surprising, but how many honestly songs or albums could you put about, plant-based food over animal agriculture?
Well, there only needs to be one, and it's already recorded. It already exists. So this is. I want to see if you want to collaborate with any of these guys.
Okay,
let's do this.
Honestly, I don't mind a rapper who is vegan-based, but if it's someone who's not even a hip-hop fan who's trying to use hip-hop as an outlet to promote veganism, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. All right. Here, take control of that.
Oh, fuck me. Then.
Yeah. You got to. Okay. Let's do this.
Man.
Now this is hip hop.
God damn it.
Fuck Tech N9ne. This is what it's.
If you gain weight from too much chow, I will never call you a cow. I respect you and cows.
Don't use cow as an insult.
If you eat every single thing,
your face.
I will never call you a pig.
It physically hurts me.
Me too.
Don't use pig as an insult. Animals are innocent. Don't be speciesist. Never use the name of an
How good's the beat,
animal
by
as
the
an
way?
insult for a human.
It's like a Wesley Willis
Animals
track.
are innocent. Don't be speciesist. Never
Oh,
use
man.
the name of an animal as an insult for a human.
Pig.
If you avoid thoughts that are deep, I will never call you a sheep. I respect you and sheep.
Don't use sheep as an insult.
If you get scared and your pulse quickens, I will never call you a chicken. I respect you and chicken.
If I said to you right now we could stop this, but you have to be raped, you would take the rape.
Probably. I just fucking bite down on the pillow. Like, this is like a parody, but they're not, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
If it's satirical, totally understand.
Nah.
Like, you could do it taking the piss out of vegans, and it's like, okay.
If you're disloyal and we have a spat, I will never call you a rat. I respect you and rats.
Don't use rat as an insult.
If you check out women while out for a jog, I will never call you a dog. I respect you and dogs.
Don't use dog as an
So what do you call people then? Is it just humans? You can call them a cunt, you can call them a dick.
Not a cunt, because that's
Okay, you know what? I mean, especially in Aussie hip hop, like dog is used as like a negative connotation, like you fucking dog.
Yeah.
I'm like, how is that insulting? Dogs are like loyal, playful. They're the nicest fucking creatures. Calling someone a dog cunt is like, that's not offensive. Like, I fucking love dogs. Dogs have got your back. Why would you call someone a dog as if they're like, you know, a
don't
snitch
know.
or something? It doesn't make sense to me.
and
Never
also
did.
dog cunt's weird because dogs have the nicest cunts out of all animals.
Yeah.
You know.
I'll take your word on that. But Jesus
Nah,
Christ.
we don't have to do it
Yeah,
anymore.
no, it's
But-
fucking, it kills me, man. People who are not really, you know, they're not really down for hip hop or anything, but they think they can use that as a platform. It's like, it's the opposite effect. I feel like I want to spite you. And I'm totally down. Like, it makes sense. Plant-based diet, I'm for it. But obnoxious vegans, like, you're not helping the cause. You're
But
doing
that
it.
is ridiculous. Like, so you can't use because why? The animals speak English and they're getting upset.
It's so what you can insult people that are what, only human based. You have to use non-carbon based life forms for insults, like a fucking tray. You're fucking useless, bro.
Yeah,
Potatoes.
fucking couch face.
I know people are weird, man. Like yeah, fuck it. I don't know, man.
But do you want to do we should do a remix of that song.
Totally. Like, honestly, like, aside from chicken, fish, and eggs, like, I'm pretty plant-based. In terms of nutrition, it just kind of makes sense. Like, I used to fucking eat bacon every day, and then you kind of see the videos, and pigs are actually really fucking smart, really intelligent, they're cognitive, and it's like, I just don't fuck with bacon anymore, or pork, or any of that stuff.
So you don't use bacon as an insult, is what you're saying?
I could call a police officer bacon, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, man, you know, yeah, fuck
Yeah,
it.
see, I called in the new track that I recorded with Sam. I talked about the pigs. They do my head in. I like pigs more than I like police.
Totally.
So which ones have I? maybe I need to go and re-record that bar.
Well, okay, in terms of insulting police as pigs, it's like, you guys are obese, you're rolling your own filth, like, fuck you. That
Yeah.
you know, that kind of synergizes, I think. But
But-
pigs themselves are actually really intelligent fucking...
They can be really friendly. They make good pets,
yeah.
and they taste good if you choose to kill them. Whereas I guarantee a police officer wouldn't taste good. Well, it depends. I've seen a couple of hot chick ones, but I'm sure they would be evil cunts.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, not that we're talking about real police.
Yeah.
All views expressed
Funnily
on the
enough,
show.
dude, as a PT, I've trained a few cops in my day, which fucking blows my mind. But there was one who was just the worst client. She was overweight. She had every excuse in the book for training, just excuses on her diet. I'm like, she talked about like a criminal outrunner, and she's just like a hefty lass. And I was like, man, like, you're a fucking cop. You should be like, in my opinion, and this is going back to like me being like 6 or 7 years old, like cops were like fucking superstar authority. Like, they're fucking John McClane. They're just fucking, they're doing whatever. John McClane, the fucking president. I mean, the dude.
Yeah, that didn't get president.
Yeah, sorry. I'm thinking more like Bruce Willis in Die Hard. Like a fucking, a badass motherfucker.
I think John McClane was a veteran, like, that did some pretty hectic
yeah.
shit. So
yeah. He's still kind of a piece of shit though, I guess. So
Yeah.
that was a bad comparison. But she was just honestly one of the worst clients I've ever had, and she was a policeman. So
a policeman,
oh yeah, you got to be bad. You got to be careful with the pronouns.
police officer,
Non-binary gendered.
police officer.
Yeah, police
I'll
officer.
have you know. Yeah,
Humans, man, humans. That's what it's so weird. People stick to their cliques and things. We're humans. We're people. That's it. That should be the bottom line in every country, ethnicity, whatever. Humans.
I just that song, I've watched it so many times and it gets stuck in my head, which is the worst part, and it's so fucking horrible. But it's just so absurd to me. Like, why is that upsetting the pig?
It reminds me of like a Christian rap in the 80s trying to bring kids to the Lord. Like, hey, we can rhyme the end line. It's it's disingenuine. I think they don't. They're not about that life.
Don't.
Well, actually, they probably are. But so fuck. I just contradicted myself. They're totally living that vegan life.
Oh shit! Have you heard Jesus Christ is my N word?
Ooh,
the Christian dude. This one. Have you got the net?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we do it?
Yeah, man.
Because
Oh yeah, do you want to get more Wi-Fi?
I can just plug it into your laptop.
Oh yeah, even
into
better,
the aux, mate. Just shove it in that aux.
Yes.
Some inserting going on here. Lots of weird shit. All right.
Oh yeah, better look it up.
YouTube.
YouTube.
Just search Jesus Christ is my N.
The internet's crazy, man.
Oh, dude, this one.
Yeah, third from the top.
Yep.
It's fucking obviously hot.
Original one.
Ooh, I think I've fucking seen this.
This is brilliant.
Yeah, youth outreach program. There you go.
This is, again, done without any hint of irony.
Well, I wrote this song for the Christian youth. I want to teach kids the Christian truth. If you want to reach those kids on the street, then you gotta do a rap to a hip-hop beat. So I gave my sermon an urban kick. My rhymes are fly, my beats are sick. My crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's 'cause Jesus Christ is my nigga.
That is actually awesome, though. Like, the fact he did that, fuck yeah.
But he doesn't... They have no idea that this is inappropriate. They're so removed from any of that shit.
He's a life changer, miracle arranger, born to the virgin mom in a manger. Water to wine, he's a drink exchanger. Bars. And he died for your sin.
Bitch.
I preach the word, that's my gig, and I rhyme better than Notorious Big. All the other MCs, I wish them well, but if you live in sin, you burn in hell.
He's got good flow.
Yeah,
I can't deny, you know.
Not bad,
it
man.
works for him, you know.
Now I'ma pass the mic to my lovely wife. She's a fly MC and the light of my life.
He looks like he's got dementia.
The rhyme without further ado, take it away.
Here we go, the
Mary
fucking
Sue.
guest spot.
Jesus Christ is my nigga. He's the son of the original G. And he was sent to Earth to elucidate the way that we should be. What? Like if another MC says you're a freak, you're a lame butt rapper and your rhymes are weak. I don't get mad and I don't critique. I forgive him and turn the other cheek.
Holy
I don't
shit.
blaspheme and I don't brag. I don't cuss and my pants don't sag. I do exude a little Christian swag and I'm proud to be an American.
Jesus Christ is a nigga.
Let his light shine through ya.
Let his love pop a cap in your butt and say hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Jesus Christ is a nigga. He's a homie MC, JC, you see. He's an honest, caring, peace-loving nigga like me.
Honestly, man, that is not bad. Like, I can actually,
See what I mean?
That was actually decent writing, and it's like if this came out in like 1983, it wouldn't be that bad, you know.
Nah,
like,
it was way more recent than that.
which is fucked. 'Cause this is an old Curtis Blow kind of flow, like these are the breaks kind of.
Yeah, like they own the cafe up in Lancelin or something, and that they're retirees just working part time.
But yeah, fair enough. Like fuck it, they've got a positive message. They kept their flow. They had some bars. Like
They actually did. Like, he's a life changer, miracle arranger, born to a virgin mom in a manger. Like
JC and MC, you
You
see?
see?
I'm
Yeah.
like, man, that's
That's
not
not
bad.
bad.
That's like, I could fuck it. They've got a positive message. You know, they mean well.
By slight, I mean really overt racism without even intending it to be.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's like you should probably give them a free pass because they're that naive that they didn't mean any bigotry or just kind of like,
It would have been, it does say, I've done some research into this, I've watched this a lot of times, and it was one of the kids as a part of the youth group that produced the song and I'm assuming wrote most of the lyrics.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So it wasn't them that wrote it.
Yep.
But it's one of my favorite Jesus-related things on the internet.
Nearly 46 million hits, so...
Yeah. It's changing lives, man.
Yeah, look, I love the internet, man. It's fucking
so
crazy.
Good. It's so funny, though, because, like, I write so much stand-up, and everything that I've written for this hip-hop EP is as dark as fuck.
Yeah.
Darker than the shit I used to write in the death metal band, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's... And I'm trying to write a couple of songs for my act, but it's just not in me at the moment.
Yeah, fair enough. You got to kind of go by your mood and what you're feeling.
Yeah, like I'm still writing bits. still writing comedy. That's all good. But for the hip hop shit, I didn't want to actually do it as a comedy release or have that as a thing.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind some of my sense of humor showing through in places.
Yeah,
and
totally.
it does it slightly in a couple of places, but for the most part, fuck, it's dark.
Yeah, so that might just be your first release, and then on your second, you loosen up a bit and do some more kind of comical elements.
I don't know. I think I want to go old school and do skits in between the tracks.
Yeah,
and I think that'll be where the funny comes in.
Totally.
I've got some ideas for that.
Yeah.
So what's the deal with airline food? I know, I mean, what's going on? You've got the EP coming out.
Yeah, so the Meat Clown EP will come out in November. I've just been laying low, like just writing shit and stuff, and I'll be doing the showcase in Melbourne on Friday, October 5th. Next Perth show will be November 9th. Hasn't been announced yet. Exclusive on the fucking podcast.
Wow, there we go.
It's going to announce in a couple of weeks, but fuck it, why not? That'll be at the Boston in Northbridge.
Sick.
And then, so as soon as the Meat Clown's out, I'm going right back on the full-length album, The Breakout. And first single is Idiocracy. We'll be shooting that in November, so hopefully that gets out for December.
Sick.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Who's producing it? Shaker?
Shaker's producing the whole album of The Breakout. For the Meat Clown, I've got Shaker, Uncle Sam, Mad Mother, and Matt Raffle. So a bunch of my favorite Perth producers, obviously. Like, that's why I'm working with them. But yeah, they're fucking killer dudes, man. Crazy beats. Some of them, like, especially Matt Raffle, like, he did the Dark Crystal beat. A lot of his stuff, I'm just like, man, I don't even want to rap over this. This is just good instrumental.
Yeah,
like he's such a chill dude, but his beats are so fucking dark and twisted and morbid, and he jacks these weird horror samples and shit. Like, he's honestly, like, his shit is some of my favorite, you know? And I'm just like, man, I don't even want to rap to this. I just want to get baked and listen to it.
Yeah, I've licensed, I can't remember which one, at least one of his tunes.
Yeah, I think one of the tracks I've heard from your one, that's Mad Mother, and Mad Mother is his brother.
Oh, it is his brother.
Yeah, and they're both good dudes, man. Shout out to Matt and Sean.
Oh, man, I love recording at Shakedown.
Yeah. It's the best. It's honestly the best studio for hip-hop in WA, by none.
I think Sam, there's a couple of the tunes that he really does dig. And I think for him it's different because I'm approaching it very differently.
Yeah.
Because I'm not super obsessed with hip-hop.
Yeah.
And since I've been writing it, I've been very active in not listening to too much of it either, because I still want to attack it with that fresh perspective.
Different. Yeah, for sure.
Like when I started comedy, I was listening to Jim Jeffries all the time.
Yeah.
So what did I start doing?
Yeah.
It started not ripping him off, but
it's hard not to be influenced when you're listening straight away. Yeah.
It wasn't the material. It was just I was trying to go too dirty for the sake of it, not just being. That's what comes out anyway.
Yeah.
But it was the stage presence and the way I was talking and just all that sort of shit. I didn't like it. So now I kind of give myself 2 watches of Jim Jeffries a year. And that's it. But with the hip hop stuff, I've listened to it as homework.
Yeah.
To be like, okay, all right, that's like different people that I should check out.
Which you should, for sure. Like, just to, like, it's always worth studying artists. Like, Hobson would be big on that. And he's just like, he will study even people he doesn't personally like. He'll study them to see, okay, what are they doing? What is that? Why is that good? Why is that appealing? And then you can kind of put that in your own melting pot of your own style.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do too, is all of the choruses, I like rock and roll song choruses. Yeah. And, it's funny because Sam records so many, like, fucking Complete, all at you.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And there was a few things that I did where singing in like a full, like a rock sort of heat, really hot. You know when they say heat in your voice, like, yeah, that sort of thing. Like all those sort of vocals. He was like, how the fuck do you do that? Does that hurt your voice? Well, no, not really. The rapping hurts my voice.
Yeah. There's a whole thing.
It's
you
the
gotta
muscle
breathe.
memory thing.
Yeah. And especially with rap, it's usually just full on, you know, you don't get much time. And that's what you got to learn. It's just like breath control and when to take pauses and you can't just fucking double time the whole time.
No, it's been an interesting process. It really has been my godsend. Yeah. As far as keeping me, not keeping me sane because I'm still very much insane. Yeah. But keeping me at the same level of insanity.
Yeah. Well, I think any artists need to create. And I see when any artist, in whatever it is, could be writing, photography, film, music. If you're not creating, then usually they get depressed. And I've just like seen that firsthand with so many people and myself included. Like, artists need to create. And when you're creating, you've got focus, you've got drive, you've got an end goal. And that's what artists need to do. You need to create.
Give us a little sneak preview. A little upskirt. Bluntfield upskirts right now.
All right, this is the track with Fresh Violet, Mr. Boom Bap. I don't know if this track has been mixed actually properly, so fuck it, just a heads up. I didn't even need to rap it. I mean, I probably could, but I'll just let it fucking play out. And I'll take a piss.
No, fuck no.
I didn't even know my shit.
Yeah. Let's take a minute to right back. I don't really want to take a stand or spit facts. Too many stuck on the negatives and that. Think I need to hit this, sit and relax. Blowing out all the stress away. Going out for a walk on this better day. Feeling out the inner mind, inspired in a herbal maze. Violet's always fresh and we keep the hidden purple haze. Hope I don't get searched today, cause I've got a lot to say. When you disregard your well-being, it comes to hurt and hate. Set upon your purpose as a road runner, don't delay. Seeming like the fear is what is blocking many people's way. Never been the kind to base worth off the salary. Maybe that's why many working bees are kinda mad at me. No designer clothes or those new flash treats. Just a bag of dope trees and that boom bap beat. Mr. Boom Bap, Mr. Boom Bap, how'd you do that? Flipped it all when the mood back, true that. Here's a clever groove fact, better move back, saying who that? Mr. Boom Bap, Mr. Boom Bap, Mr. Boom Bap, Mr. Boom Bap. Find the gloon sap when the room's packed, spit a new rap. Too fat like where the food at, from the brew tap. Mr. Boom Bap, Mr. Boom Bap.
Mr. Boom Bap, who's that? Oh, Bluntfield, well true that. And it's no mystery, the feminine Eminem on a crispy beat. Tell them anything if they're listening. So what's happening? Got the beat slapping and I'm about to add a little flavor that you be lacking in. The girl too original, no you can't pigeonhole. Call me Little Miss Boom Bap, no picture book. Always got it popping up, yeah the girl bubbly. The name's in your mouth, in your teeth like a poppy seed. Spitting on a proper beat, smoking up a lot of trees. About to get myself well baked like some pottery. Think I won the lottery, landing on my moonshots. Then I wind it back one time, cause I do lots. Hit the bar, order 2 shots, know my crew's hot. Find us at the boondocks with the boom box and the green box.
Mr. Boom Bap, Mr. Boom Bap, how'd you do that? Flipped it all when the mood back, true that. Here's a clever groove fact, better move back, saying who that? Mr. Boom Bap, Mr. Boom Bap, Mr. Boom Bap, Mr. Boom Bap. Find the gloon sap and the room's packed, spit a new rap. Too fat like where the food at, from the brew tap. Mr. Boom Bap, Mr. Boom Bap, Mr. Boom Bap, Mr. Boom.
Yeah, sick, man.
That's the second single.
That's wicked.
Yeah. If you want an exclusive, like the main single with Mr. Ruckman, that's my shit. That's the strongest track on the EP.
That's cool, man. Fresh Violet sounds sick.
Oh, she's cool, man. She's just a cool chick. She's very like just original and kind of unique. Like she's a fucking piano teacher by trade, so she's not the typical Fleming cigarette with Adidas track pants at fucking Maylands train station.
Yeah, look, there's a few things in hip hop that I'm never going to get on board with, man. The Adidas track pants is one of them.
Like honestly, I don't mind sportswear if you play sport, like fuck yeah. But when it's like, no, I'll fuck you up, cunt. It's like, what do you do? Like, well, I fucking punch darts. It's like that's not a sport, bro.
Oh shit. So did you want to do some freestyling?
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
I'm scared, but.
Dude, we're not battling. That's the thing, man. Like, so a lot of people don't like to freestyle because they feel like they're going to get embarrassed. Like, we're not roasting. It's just fucking, we just chill, man.
No, it's just I had to perform up against your new track, and I totally fucked mine up. Now I'm very self-conscious.
No, you go, well, I mean, that track, Mr. Boom, it's just fucking, it's just laid back good vibes, just smoking weed and shit, you know? Like, I'm trying to think. Fucking, normally I have like a shit ton of boom bap instrumentals, but right now, I got some fucked up footage about obese models, which I'm going about in the first single. Like, there's some weird topics we cover, so I've had to like go deep on like feminism and fucking obese models and all this weird shit. It's like, it's weird, man. I'll play it to you after the podcast. It's fucking dark, man. Let's see what we got. Ooh, it's a dark beat, but
fuck yeah,
we'll work with it. This is gonna be on my album. Then when I went to go buy it, it's already been fucking sold. So shout out to that fucker. Do you want to kick it off?
Nah, you do the honors, man. I gotta get in the zone.
Yo. Shit, it starts off with a hook. Yo, I don't have a hook, but you still gotta look. Man, we're gonna get a red, but we're not on Facebook, yo. If you wanna get shook, man, you get crook like a Peter Pan pirate, yo, Mr. Hook. But if you don't know, he's turning it down. And it's fine, cause the words that I spit from my mouth, not profound, but I'm spitting it out round and we get down. It's how we doing when we're living in Perth town.
Alright, taking over from my friend Blunt. He's a pretty good cunt. fucking up the flow, don't you know? Don't know where I'm gonna go, lyrically or physically, I'm just gonna stay stoned. Sitting in the place that I'm at, spoken to some beat back. What the fuck did I just say? Take that back, mate. Don't know where I'm headed, don't know where I'm going, don't know where I'm gonna be bedded. But Bluntfield, please take it from me, cause I'm sucking. This is fucked and I just wanna throw the truck in, man.
Yo, it's fine, G. It's alright, man. You still gotta rhyme. See, it's all about the confidence. And if you don't stop, then you're really fine. No, you're not gonna be a flop or a flip-flop. No, this isn't really fucking Australian, but it's still in my own mind fucking hip-hop.
This is why I shouldn't have got high.
That's why I didn't get high.
This is why I shouldn't have got high.
It's why I didn't get high.
But you got high previously, you know that you gave me the same kind of weed, and now I don't know where I should be in the flow or even where I should be. Should I go home? No, I can't drive in the state that I'm stoned. Fuck, I'm really starting to feel it. Don't know where I should be going or let the tires be squealing. I don't know what's going on inside my head, but all I know is that the flow is gonna get me dead because I can't be read. None of that made sense.
But it doesn't matter long as you are on the fence. It's like you're heaven sent, and though you're missing rent, it's like the money in your mind that you've got to spend. But it's still fine long as you keeping the words tight. Doesn't fucking matter, man. Yo, I'm still a worm, but I be fucking working out and doing out my words like a wizard or a witch. Man, I'm still feeling cursed. It is fine. Still a blessing, still a lesson. Fucking living my life until I go to heaven or hell. I might as well. I don't really give a fuck. Hoping that the fucking pain in my mind doesn't swell.
Fuck, man, that's sick. All right, let's see if I can do an outro to the podcast and actually rap for a little bit. All right, this is the worst showing. All right, thanks for Blunt. Thanks for the Blunt. Sorry, mate, I'm a bit fucked up, cunt. But thanks to Blunt for coming on the show. It's been a good time, you know, but I can't seem to find the flow. Don't know where I've got to go with the beat, but all I gotta say is thank you all for tuning in. Please leave a review. If you do, I'll come to your house and blow you. That's right, I just rhymed you with you about 5 times, but that's alright because it's just the outro. So enjoy your Friday night, Bluntfield. You're a good cunt, so let's fly and get high.
Let's fly and get high.
Everybody, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, THC in my eyes. Yes, they are Chinese, but you ask me, am I alright? And I'm fine, it's cool. I do it every line, every rhyme that I spit, really tight for tonight. So thank you, Hayden, for playing with me. And then we're gonna fucking blaze that THC.
Jesus is my N-word.
Jesus
is... Alright, thanks for listening, everybody.
Peace out.
See ya.